So hi students, today we are going to learn about chance and probability. So we already explored this about in the previous class, chance and probability. Here we are going to link chance and probability. So linking chance to probability. So most traditional experiment is choosing for probability is tossing a coin and throwing a die. So I'll start with the same. Considering the experiment of tossing a coin once, so if you toss the coin, what we will be getting? We will be getting a head or tail, right? So here I show you the coin. It's a 2 rupee coin. You can see this part we call it as a tail and this part we call it as a head. So if you toss once, if you toss the coin, it will be falling on either head or in the tail, right? Or else it will fall on the tail. So the outcome of this experiment is only two. So outcome is head or it will be a tail. So the outcomes are equally like. It is equally like, right? We cannot predict. Equally there is a chance there should be, it will fall on the head or it will fall on the tail. Equally there is a chance. So equally like. So we will say half. In other word, the same we can say it in that probability. So this we said with the chance, right? Half a chance. There is a half a chance to get a tail or half a chance to get a head, right? That's why in the game, to start the game, they are using the coin, which is there are two teams will have a half chance, equal chance. So which team choose a tail, and if it is fall on the tail, they will be choosing for the starting the game, right? The same that which said with the chance, but now we are linking the chance to probability. In other word, we will call it as a probability of getting a head is 1 by 2. The same way the probability of getting a tail is 1 by 2, right? Half. So if you observe carefully, you can see that numerator there is a 1 and denominator there is a 2, and numerator says number of outcomes of head. So how many heads it's there to fall? Only one, right? So the 1 divided by denominator is a total number of outcomes. So totally how many outcomes we will get from this coin? Either head or tail. So there is a 2 outcomes, right? 1 by 2. The same, the probability of getting tail is numerator is how many things, how many outcomes for the tail? There is only one outcome of the tail, right? And denominator is total outcomes in this experiment. So total outcome in this experiment is the 2, right? So it is like a number of outcome what we needed divided by total number of outcomes in that experiment. Clear? So now I will show you with one more example. Now take example of throwing a die marked with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on it face. You will be seeing a small cube with number 1 to 6 dice, which will be used to play Ludo, Snake and Ladder, so many other games like that we are playing in our childhood, right? So the outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? The outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So probability of getting outcome only 2. So previous itself we have observed that the numerator is the outcomes that what we need for the probability, and denominator is the total number of expressions. The same here. Here also we can see that all the 6 phases are equally like. By the chance we will say it as a 1 by 6. The by chance we will call it as a 1 by 6. If for getting a 1 is the 1 by 6, 2 is the 1 by 6, 3 is the 1 by 6, 4 1 by 6, 5 1 by 6, 6 also 1 by 6. The same way in the probability also we can say probability of getting outcome 2 is, so how many total number of how many 2's are here is only 1, right? 1 divided by, so total event is that's a 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 events are there divided by 6, right? So number of outcomes giving 2. So only one chances are there, and total number of outcomes of the experiment. So here we go for the problem. Find the probability of the pointer stopping on D. So we have to find the probability of pointer stopping on D. We know the probability we can find by the fraction. Numerator is how many number of, here is a D, how many numbers of the how many number D that pointer will shows, and divided by the total. So totally there's only one D, so there's only one chance of showing the D, and totally how many possibles are there? 1 2 3 4 5. So the probability is 1 by 5, right? So pointer on D is equal to, so how many are in the D? The pointer will show the D, only one D is there, right? So 1 divided by totally how many things the pointer will be pointing in this experiment? A, B, another A, C and D. Totally there is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So probability is the 1 by 5. But the same thing, if you change the question to pointer stopping on A, means there is a 2A, right? The pointer can be in the chances are the, so total numbers of A are 2. So 2 by 6 will be that. But they asked only the D. So there is a only one D. So pointer can point out only the one time. So 1 divided by, so total number of experiment totally in this problem, the pointer can show in the 5 places, right? A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So 1 by 5. Clear? We'll go for the next problem. Find the probability of getting an ace from a well shuffled deck of 52 playing cards. So there is a well shuffled deck of 52 playing cards. So you know the playing cards, right? The playing cards having a 4 shoot. The one is in a heart shape, and another one is a diamond, and another is spade will be like this. So 4 shoots will be there, and the club, right? So these three things, there is a 4 shoot and each having a 13 cards, and these two are red color and these are black color. Do you remember that? So each 13 card, it starts from ace 2, 3 up to 10. Then we will be having a king, queen, jack, right? So totally 13 cards are there. A to 10 there is a 10 cards and plus 3 king, queen, jack. And king, queen, jack we can see faces on the card. Rest we will be having a 2 to 10 numbers, and ace represent as a capital A. That's it. But king, queen, jack will be representing the king face, queen face and jack face, right? So this is the 52 playing cards in the well shuffled deck, right? Now our question is probability of getting an ace from a well shuffled deck of 52 playing cards. So probability of getting an ace from well shuffled deck is, so totally how many ace divided by total number of the cards, right? So how many aces are there? There will be a ace in the heart and ace in the diamond, ace the spade and ace in the club, right? So totally how many aces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 divided by total number of cards. What is the total number of outcomes in this experiments are total number of the cards, right? There is a 52 cards, so 52 outcomes chances are there. So 4 by 52. But the question they ask only how many aces. That's why aces is a 4. That's in numerator divided by the total number of cards, 52. So can we simplify this fraction? Yes, if it's possible to simplify the fraction, then do it. 52 is the 4 multiples, right? So 4 multiples 4 1 times, 52 will comes for 13 times. So the probability of getting an ace from a well shuffled deck is 1 by 13. So here we go for the next problem. Number 1 to 10 are written on 10 separate slips. One number on one slip. So just I will draw here for each slip. How many is written? 1 to 10. So they written, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in the 10 slip they are writing the number 1 to 10 and kept in a box and mixed well. So keeping in some box and they are mixed well, so it will be shuffled. We cannot, it is not in the order. So by mixing it will be not in the order. One slip is chosen from the box without looking into it. So without looking, so blindly we are choosing one randomly. Just we will put an hand inside the box and we are just random without seeing it. what is the probability of getting a number 6? It's easy. So how many numbers 6 divided by the total number of the cards, right? So probability, the first question is probability of getting a number 6 is, totally how many 6 are there? Only one 6, right? So 1 divided by totally how many cards? 10, right? So next question, probability, what is the probability of getting a number less than 6? Probability of getting number less than 6. Probability of getting a number less than 6. So less than 6, what are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So totally how many numbers are there? 5 numbers, right? 5 divided by total number of the cards. Total number of the cards written here is 10. So 5 by 10 we can simplify, and it is a 1 by 2. So the probability of getting number less than 6 is half. So there is a half chance we can get a number from 1 to 5. So there's half a chance. If you're just putting your hand inside the box, and if you pick a card, that number written in that, pick a slip number written in that, there is a half chances the number will be a 1 to 5. So next, you're getting a number greater than 6. Can you guess how many possibles there will be a greater than 6? Even without the thing we can guess, right, by the previous problem answer. Number greater than 6. So greater than 6, how many is there? 7, 8, 9, 10. So totally how many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4. So is equal to 4 divided by total number of cards. Totally how many cards are there? 10. So 4 by 10. Even this we can simplify. So 2 multiples, it will be a 2 by 5. So probability of getting the number greater than 6 is 2 by 5 chances are there. If you pick 5 times, maybe 2 times there's a chances that the number you will be getting a 7, 8, 9, 10, right? But here it says the probability of getting number less than 6 is in the 2 times, there is a 1 time there is a chance you will be getting a number 1 to 5. But if it's greater than 6, it is a 2 by 5. And if you pick 5 times only, there will be a chance of getting 7 or 8 or 9. There's only one chance of getting it. Right? That's why they're linking the chances and the probability here. So we'll go for the fourth question. Getting a 1-digit number. So how many 1-digit numbers are there? Can you guess? So how many 1-digit numbers are there? So except the 10, all are the 1-digit numbers. So 1 to 9, there is a totally a 9 1-digit number divided by the total card is 10. Right? This is not simplified. So if you pick this slip from the box 10 times, so there is a 9 times there's a chance that you will be getting a single digit number. Clear? So here we go for the next problem. If you have a spinning wheel with 3 green sectors, 1 blue sectors and 1 red sectors, totally 5 sectors are there in the spinning wheel. What is the probability of getting a green sector? What is the probability of getting a non-blue sector? So let me draw one circle and explain you. So now we just consider it as a spinning wheel. Let me split into the totally how many sectors? 3 green sectors, 1 blue sectors, 1 red sectors. Totally 3 plus 1 plus 1, 5. So 5 sectors I have divided, equal sector, like our fractions, how we will divide equally. So let me consider it as a green, and this is also a green. I didn't color, just I'm writing it. Consider there is a green color, green, and here is a blue color, and this is a red color. Consider this is shaded with the green color, and this is shaded with the blue color, and this is shaded with the red color. Clear? So totally in this experiment, how many outcomes? Totally how many outcomes there is a possible? 3 green color, 1 blue color, 1 red color. Totally 5 outcomes there is a possible. So total outcomes are here is a 5. So that is what we are going to represent the denominator. So denominator will represent the total outcomes. So total outcome is 5. So 5 total outcomes are there. So first question is, what is the probability of getting a green sector? Can you guess what is the probability of getting a green sector here? So totally how many greens are there? 1, 2, 3. So the probability of getting is a 3 divided by the total is 5. So the first, for the answer for the first question, probability of getting a green sector is, so totally how many greens are there? 1, 2, 3. So 3 divided by, it depends on here, right? How many greens? 3 divided by total. Totally how many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we written already. 3 by 5. Right? The next is, what is the probability of getting a non-blue sector? So non-blue means which is not in the blue color. This is only the blue color. Other all are non-blue colors, right? Totally how many is there non-blue? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is a 4. 4 by the total outcomes. Probability of getting a non-blue sector is equal to, how many non-blue sectors are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Except this blue, all are non-blue. Just clear on this word, non-blue, not a blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 divided by total. Total number, totally how many outcomes are there? 5 outcomes. 4 by 5. Clear? So numerator is representing the question. What does this question say? Non-blue means just how many non-blues are there. That will be represented in the numerator. Denominator is the total. So here it represents the green. So just count how many greens are possible. 1, 2, 3. So 3 divided by total. Total outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Clear, students? Thank you.